Hello, students. This is Alan Gilmore with Human Services 20 in fall 2020. And I wanted to make this video to give you some guidance in terms of the submission of the field experience paper. This is the interview that you're doing with the social worker. So um, the first thing that I would suggest is you would want to get onto Canvas. Now, I'm on the teacher's version right now of Canvas in our class, but in a few minutes, I'm going to be able to switch over to a student view, and I'll show you the guidance in terms of from what you guys see. So, but what you should have is that if you were on Canvas, you would have obviously this list of all of the different places you can go on Canvas. And you would want to click on assignments. And you're going to want to find field experience paper. So you're going to open that. And now here is your guidance for the field experience paper. It is due on Sunday, December 6th. And let's just review quickly the guidance and the instructions for the assignment. You're required to visit a human services agency and interview a person working in the capacity of a social worker. Your visit can be completed either in person or over the phone. Your goal is to meet with and interview a staff person who's working in the capacity of a social worker or someone who supervises social workers as their job at the agency. So I want to emphasize the main point here, a couple of main points. The interview doesn't have to be in person. It can be over the phone or it could be over Zoom, some kind of video chat. The other thing is that, what did I want to, oh, it does not have to be someone who necessarily has the word social worker in their job title, but it needs to be someone who's working in the capacity of a social worker. I feel like you guys have been through this class. You should know the things that a social worker would do. The things you want to try to avoid is we're not looking for somebody who's an eligibility worker. We're not looking for somebody who's working, say, necessarily in probation or something like that, where it's not really a social work focus. So if you have any questions or you want to chat about whether the person you're interviewing is a good fit, then what you want to do is get in touch with me, give me a call. We can Zoom, send me an email, do something, but let me know this is who I'm interviewing and this is why I think they meet the capacity of serving as a social worker. You are to use the questions provided, see below, for conducting the interview. I would strongly encourage that you would want to cut and paste these questions onto a Word document and email them to the person that you're going to interview at least a few days ahead of your interview. It's going to go a whole lot more smoothly if they know what the questions are that you're going to be asking them. They can be prepared. Following your interview, you are to write a paper addressing the questions provided. As with the discussion board in this class, please restate each question and then provide your answer. I can't say that enough. State the question and then write your answer. Some of the information you ask for in the interview may be unavailable from the person you are interviewing. Just tell me as best as you are able based on the information that you gathered about the agency. So there may be some questions that the person doesn't have an answer for, but maybe there's something on the website for the agency. Maybe there's a brochure that you're given and maybe there's information there. So it doesn't necessarily mean that just because the person you interview doesn't have the answer doesn't mean that you can't get the answer somehow. If you end up providing information and it doesn't come from the interview, it comes from the website or a brochure or something like that, make sure you state that in your response to the question. Okay, if you are able to arrange a personal interview, you will need to call the agency and arrange for a time to meet with a staff person. If you secure a phone interview, you may need to call in advance as well. It may be a good idea, as I said earlier, to forward the questions to the person you're interviewing so they are prepared with their answers. If possible, attach to your report some evidence, something like a signed business card, a brief note on letterhead, maybe even a copy of an email exchange that you had with the person, documenting your time at the agency and the name and telephone number of the person with whom you met. Here are the questions that should be asked in the interview and used to write your paper. What is the agency's mission statement or purpose? What are its clients' major problems? What services does the agency provide? How are the client's needs determined? What percentage of clients are people of color, women, gay or lesbian, elderly, or members of other at-risk population? And it's a staff member's impressions are okay if this is not documented. What are the agency's funding sources? What does the agency, or does the agency have a written guidance for how it provides its services to clients? This is often referred to as a policy manual. How would the staff person describe the public image of the agency in the community? So in other words, does the person feel like they have a positive image in the community, maybe not so positive? Does the agency have a process for evaluating the outcome of its services? If yes, what is the process and what are the outcome results? So how do they know that they're doing what they're getting funded to do? They need to have outcomes. Sometimes outcomes are things like how many people did they see in a given year? How many people, the housing organization, we saw 200 people last year, and by the end of the year, 50 of them had stable housing. That would be an outcome. So those are the kinds of things that you're looking for them to provide. What is the student's overall impression of the agency? For example, if the student needed services that this agency provides, would she or he want to apply at this agency? Why or why not? And it's okay to be critical. If you see things that you think are not necessarily well managed, I think that that's important to recognize as well. Your report should be between 2 and 3 pages. It is to be typewritten, Times New Roman 12 font, and double spaced. Your use of correct grammar, appropriate sentence structure, and if the report is clear and understandable, will be evaluated. The assignment will not be accepted after the due date without prior discussion with the instructor. Point value for this assignment is 25 points. In terms of the business card or note or copy of email, you'll want to scan that and turn it into a PDF. And then when you're ready to upload your paper, then you can upload that as well. So what you'll find here is the rubric in terms of the grading rubric. This is worth, again, 25 points. It's due December 6th, and this assignment is open now. So if you are ready to do your interview, you've got everything you need here to be able to move this effort forward, okay? So let's say that you've completed your interview, you've written up your paper, you've got your business card, you've got a copy of it, and now you're ready to upload and send everything to me. So let me switch settings here quickly. So where I'm at now is I'm in what's called student view. So again, I would go to assignments. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Field experience paper. Okay. So here's exactly what you're going to see. Everything here. Here's the rubric. Here are the questions. Here's the guidance. This is what you're looking for at the very top on the right-hand side. When everything is ready, you're going to, and you've got, your documents in terms of files, PDF files, or PDF would be preferable. In other words, Adobe, or if they're in Word, that's fine. You're going to click on Submit Assignment. You're going to come down to the bottom here. You're going to choose File. It's going to send you to, your list of all your files. You're going to pick a file here. If you need to add a second one, here's what you're going to do. And when you have everything uploaded, you're going to click Submit Assignment. Okay. So that's what you need to do. There's the directions on the assignment and how to submit it. Okay. Hope you have a better understanding as to the process and how you're going to do this. And again, if you have any questions, remember, you've always got a way to be able to reach out to other students in the class through the chat board. That's the one that we opened at the very beginning. I think it's called Canvas Cafe or something like that. I apologize, can't remember right now, but anyway. But there's also the option of sending me an email or a text message or whatever, and I'll try my best to answer your questions. Hope that was helpful, and I hope you move forward as soon as possible on setting those interviews up, as December 6th is going to be right around the corner.